And Mr. Sims, would you join us? Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. So, good evening. To say I'm a true believer would be an understatement. So, about the only thing that hasn't changed in my life since I walked through these doors, 2.5 years ago, less than 3 years ago, is my name. And if the Hotze team recommends I change my name, I'm going to change that too. That's a true believer. So, I met Dr. Hotze, I'll say by divine providence. Like I said, 2.5 years ago, a friend of mine invited me to a political event up at a church in Houston. It was on a Saturday. Really didn't want to drag myself out of bed on a Saturday because I didn't have a lot of energy, didn't feel like it. Anyway, I went. Dr. Hotze gave us a little gift bag with his books. I read those. And it was a good time in my life because I'd already made a decision to make some changes. So, I wanted to make some changes, and my why was because I wanted a second chance at life. Don't have time to get into the whole backstory, but, I didn't do everything perfect in life. And I also found out some of the things that I thought I didn't do so well weren't that bad after all, but nevertheless, I wanted a second chance at life. And, coming out of COVID, we've all got the COVID stories, right? And so at that time, now how heavy was Fat Matt? 222. Okay, I didn't reach that, but I was 205. And how tall was Fat Matt? 6'2". Well, I'm not standing in a hole. I'm only 5'6". So I didn't bring a slideshow because on his very worst day, I'm still not there yet, right? But yeah, 205, chronic heartburn, acid reflux. I had been to my cardiologist. I was on cholesterol medication, on prescription heartburn medication or Nexiums, either one. I was taking those, had the endoscopy on my stomach, everything. So I asked my cardiologist, I said, what is it going to take to get off of this heartburn medicine and get rid of this? And he says, well, there's really nothing you can do. And I said, well, you don't think, my belly has anything, my weight has anything to do with it, do you? No, that's just the way it is. You're going to have to take this medication. So, make a long story short, when I came to the Hotze Wellness Center here, that's the first thing I did also was the Candida diet. And I experienced the same process that Matt did. But I can tell you, I've never taken another heartburn pill. Never taken another Nexium or anything. I'm 175 today. I still have a long way to go. I also started, my testosterone level was 200. And I had known that I had low testosterone for quite some time. I just never wanted to deal with it because it was always, the doctor would say, well, you got to come by and take these injections once a week and do these things. And I travel a lot. I work in the industrial sector, refineries, chemical plants. I travel around. I said, well, I can't do that. Anyway, when I came here, diagnosed with 200, Dr. Hotze said, here's what we can do for you. And I recommend the injections. And I said, well, I started my excuses. He says, no. You're going to give yourself the injection. We're going to teach you while you're here. And you're going to take the supplies home with you and take care of it yourself. So I thought, wow, that's great. So my testosterone level now averages about 900. Like he told me, he said, for a guy your age, normal doctors would recommend you should be in this range for a guy your age. He said, we don't want you to have the testosterone level of a guy your age. We want you to have the testosterone level of a much younger person. He said, you're a business owner. He said, and I always tell my business owners this. If I was smart, which he is smart, he said, but if I was smart, I would make a deal with you. I will do this for you for free. You just give me a percentage of the extra income you make with your business after you get focus, clarity, confidence, drive, passion, and energy. Would you agree, Matt? And believe me, he should have took that deal. He would have made a lot more money off of me because I can tell you I've had much more success in a short period of time. So that's a little bit about my story. I could go on all night long, But again, less than 3 years. And by the way, I just turned 60. So, like I said, I wanted a second chance at life. And the Bible says man's days are 120 years. And I said, well, okay, why not? Let's start fresh. Let's start new. Let's get a team in place that can help me. For once, listen to what they have to say. But you said when you started talking, Dr. Ellsworth, that we all know these things. But it's that gap between the knowing and the doing that I think gets in the way sometimes. And what does that to us is fear. I'll say when I came in, my first fear was, well, I'm going back into business for myself. I left the government role. What if I make this investment and things don't turn out too well in my business? You know, it was the fear of the money. Everybody's fear is different, right? Mine was the fear of money. But then I slept on it and I said, well, what if I don't do this and my business does take off and I don't have the energy or the drive to do these things? And so I made that decision. And without going on all night, I'm glad that I did. Thank y'all for hearing my story. You're just one decision away from your life changing dramatically.